President Donald Trump delivered the keynote speech at the Family Research Council's Pray, Vote, Stand Summit in Washington, D.C. Friday night. Trump highlighted accomplishments during his time in office, from being the most pro-life president to a friend and ally to Israel and Christians, as well as emphasizing the battles endured to impede the destruction of the United States.
So every promise I made to Christians as a candidate, I delivered, and in many cases delivered much more than the promises I made. So it's an honor. Through 4 magnificent years, I was proud to be your relentless champion for freedom, for life, for liberty, and for the great biblical traditions of Western civilization. But I wanted to and had to stand up to the communists, the Marxists, the atheists, and the evil and demonic forces that want to destroy our country.
While discussing his faith at the event, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis called for a reversal of the decline of the United States.
You see it everywhere you look. We now live in a country where families that are doing everything right, working hard, trying to put food on the table for their kids, suddenly have to choose between getting groceries and buying gas. They can't afford a new house or a new car because of the rising prices and the inflation.
The Pray, Vote, Stand Summit is a national gathering of spiritually active and engaged conservatives.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton acquitted by the state Senate on Saturday of all impeachment charges. Paxton faced bribery and corruption charges related to his relationship with real estate developer Nate Paul. The impeachment had bipartisan support, but the votes to convict on each charge did not. It didn't clear by the 21-vote threshold. Republican state senators Robert Nichols and Kelly Hancock joined all 12 Democrats to vote in favor of conviction on several charges. Fox News reports Republicans hold a 19-12 majority in the Senate, so 9 Republicans would have had to need to cross and vote with the Democrats. At most, they only got 2. Mike?
Greg, joining us now is proud conservative and publisher of Texas Scorecard News, Michael Quinn Sullivan. Michael, for people that aren't up to speed on the Ken Paxton charges and trial, what were the most serious charges that the Attorney General was accused of?
Well, I would argue there were 2 really serious charges, one spoken, one unspoken. The spoken charge was that of bribery, and that's serious, claiming that he took thousands of dollars in gifts from Nate Paul specifically to have his kitchen, for Ken Paxton to have his kitchen remodeled with new granite countertops, they claimed. In point of fact, the kitchen was never remodeled, and the countertops remain the tile countertops from circa 1987 or something like that. So it was there were a lot of rumors and innuendo that were presented forward as one state senator noted, triple hearsay. The other charge, the charge that actually drove it, the charge that no one wanted to talk about, is that Ken Paxton committed the unforgivable capital crime of being effective in his job. Here he was he has been the most effective Republican Attorney General in the nation, and that was something that couldn't stand, which is why this was a Democrat-led impeachment effort in a GOP-dominated legislature.
Yeah. And Michael, with Paxton not guilty on every count, should there be consequences for Speaker Dade Phelan and other Republican House members that voted for this trial?
There have already been calls both from state or county executive committees of the various Republican parties around the state for Dade Phelan to be removed. You had 3 or 4 of the most conservative members of the Texas House over the weekend calls removal. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick taking shots at Phelan. And, of course, Donald Trump put out a statement on Saturday calling for Phelan to resign. There's supposed to be a special legislative session this October on school choice. And on that first day, Republican lawmakers could swap out the Speaker of the Texas House. Of course, we'll have to wait till then to see if they do it or not.
Right. Now, in his press release after acquittal, AG Paxton blamed the Biden administration for the sham trial and has promised to challenge their lawless policies, the shredding of the Constitution, and to hold them accountable. Has the White House unleashed a legal whirlwind, do you think?
Yeah, look, it is abundantly clear that this was driven by the Democrats, by the Biden administration. No attorney general in the United States has been more effective at fighting the Biden administration, racking up legal wins, challenging the Biden administration on things that would otherwise not be challenged, or at least not be able to be effectively done so, just because the size of Texas Attorney General's office in fighting those things. The Biden administration clearly wanted Paxton out, and now they've got themselves a really big enemy. It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi telling Darth Vader, strike me down and I'll be more powerful than you can imagine. They tried, they failed, and I think Paxton's going to be real trouble for the Bidens.
And Michael, it's been being reported that the American hostages formerly held in Iran are now in Qatar and awaiting their flight home to the U.S. Senator Ted Cruz addressed the danger of giving $6 billion in exchange for the hostages on Fox News.
Yeah, this is a troubling precedent. Giving money to our enemies for releasing hostages seems to put a price tag on every American's head who travels overseas. The U.S. Congress should look very carefully at this deal and see what changes can be made to prevent this from happening again.
All right, Michael Quinn
I'm glad the
Sullivan.
folks are coming home, though.